Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and this is Poland Daily Culture. Today we start a series of great Polish writers. This poet has as much influence on Polish literature as Lewandowski had on football. There is a simple test of checking how Polish you are, and that is to recite first few verses of Pan Tadeusz. I am talking, of course, about Adam Mickiewicz, and if you don't know him, it means you skipped too many classes in high school.
Excuse me, are we in the right place? Anyone? You? Anyone?
Today you'll learn if Mickiewicz really wrote his great improvisation in one night. How many lovers did he have? And why on earth did he die not in Poland or Paris, but in Turkey? All this in Poland Daily Culture, so stay with us.
You filed a claim. What next? Ms. Woods?
Unfortunately, Adam couldn't be with us because he was stopped on the traffic jam on the border. But I have in the studio Will Richardson, who will help me a little bit with poetic parts of Mickiewicz. Will, are you ready for this?
I'll do my best. I think it's a pale imitation having me substitute for Adam Mickiewicz.
Absolutely.
It's just not fair to him at all.
But I wouldn't like to have him on Skype, because I don't really like those Skype conversations.
No, exactly, yeah. And he's probably a little moldy by now.
Might be.
So am I, probably, but not as moldy.
But back to Mickiewicz. He is regarded the national poet in Poland, Lithuania, and Belarus. And probably what you didn't know, his middle name was Bernard.
You serious?
He was born in Nowogródek in Zaosie, in Lithuania province, as a part of the Great Russian Empire, which in modern times is Belarus. Complicated? Will, is it complicated?
It's complicated, yes, because he's the national poet of all these, which are very different countries now. They will tell you that, at least, although there's a Polish background in all three of those countries, a heavy one, obviously, if Mickiewicz can be the national poet. So they're very closely related, these countries in history. And a lot of, you will find, if you go back to the pre-World War II, a lot of the famous Polish writers and people and artists come from either Lithuania or Belarus, not just what we know as Poland today.
Yes, and right now everyone just yells, Mickiewicz is ours, Mickiewicz is ours. But since he wrote in Polish, he's the most Polish, I would say.
He wrote in Polish, and
yes,
I think that...
as Conrad wrote in English, and he's regarded in English.
Joseph Conrad, yeah.
Because even though he originally was Polish.
That's right. Yeah.
But back to Mickiewicz, it is not so complicated if you remind yourselves that in those times there was no Poland. The country was divided between three conquerors, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. And Mickiewicz was born in the Russian partition. Yes?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was born because the Russians were in charge of all the eastern parts of Poland at that time. And also what we know as the Ukraine. It's part of Russia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And young Mickiewicz didn't have easy from the very beginning. He was born exactly on Christmas Day, on 24th of December, and that means he got presents only once a year.
Tragedy. Easier on his parents.
Much easier on his parents, considering that he was not the only child.
And less time in the shopping mall for them.
And imagine this. When he was a little boy, he fell off the window and remained unconscious for several hours. Some historians even say that he suffered clinical death.
How would they know that?
They presume probably because of the symptoms he had.
The symptoms, if they look at it in modern terms and they know his symptoms or the reports from the doctors of the time, which they have, I assume.
I presume.
Yeah, then they might think that it was very serious anyway. Yeah.
But he very strongly believed that he revived and he was able to get back his health because of the special intercession of Our Lady of the Gate of Dawn.
The Lady of the Gate of Dawn.
Yes, and if you were Polish, you would be kneeling before this portrait, at least in your title, at least once.
Really?
Yes, it is located in Vilnius, and next to Częstochowa, the most sacred painting of Virgin Mary in Poland.
So the Virgin Mary is the Lady at the Gate of Dawn?
Of course.
Yeah.
Who else?
Okay. I was assuming that, yeah.
Absolutely, and Mickiewicz refers to those events in the beginning of Pantadeusz, of course, and I think, well, it's the time for you.
I have to read something now?
Yes.
About Częstochowa, right?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. O Holy Maid, who Częstochowa's shrine doth guard, and on the pointed gateway shine, and watchest Novogrodic's pinnacle, as thou didst heal me by a miracle. For when my weeping mother sought thy power, I raised my dying eyes, and in that hour my strength returned, and to thy shrine I went, for life restored to offer thanks to God.
And we will leave you with this to masterize and learn by heart for our next episode, because it's the most crucial part, and all of you want to be Polish and pass the test of Polishness. So those verses are the one to memorize, and thank you very much for watching Poland Daily Culture.